Hello everyone, and welcome to the Mindfulness guided meditation online. We're here to support each other in our formal practice. I'm speaking to you today from Cannes, where I'm running a mindfulness and detox retreat with my colleague Lika Kay, nutritionist. So we've got some beautiful weather. It's autumn on the Côte d'Azur, and today I'm going to guide us in 10 minutes mindfulness of the breath, followed by a few words about the bigger picture. So how does mindfulness help with our view of our life? How does it help us to show up and really be there for each moment? It's helpful to adopt a warm and kindly attitude. So when we're kind to ourselves in meditation and in life, we tend not to judge. We just allow things to be as they are, and this helps us to be in the moment and to really be here and experience things as they are, rather than dwelling on how we would like them to be, rather than constantly trying to make improvements or changes, which means that we're not accepting things as they are. So to have a direct experience of now, we have to be there without judgment. So that means without comment or criticism or suggestion. And when those suggestions come in, that's quite normal, but we can just notice them as such. That's the mind trying to make changes. Sitting in a dignified posture helps us to stay alert, and our intention is to pay attention and to adopt a kindly regard. So warmth and compassion, a light touch, sort of almost playful. We're just here to practice, not to get anything right or to be perfect. So when we're ready, closing our eyes for 10 minutes, mindfulness of the breath. One of the best ways of coming into the moment is by paying attention to the feelings in the body. Connecting with the senses, such that we can actually feel our backside on the chair or cushion. So that we can actually feel our feet on the floor or tucked beneath us. Or actually feel our hands where they're resting. And staying with those physical sensations. Rather than taking the attitude, oh, I felt that, now move on. Rather, we feel that, and then we feel it some more. Maybe lingering our attention in the fingers, What else is there? Behind the touch, the warmth, the coolness. Maybe there's some tingling or extra sensitivity. Or moments where there's less feeling. So having the patience and the interest to stay with the physical sensations in the hands, the feet, the body. So that we can know we're sitting because we feel it. And in this way, we may feel a sense of landing or coming home. There's a familiarity. And it doesn't matter if the mind wanders. We're just practicing being here. And once we are here, more or less, we can invite our attention to the breath. Breathing naturally and noticing those physical sensations. The slight stretch in the abdomen, the rise and fall of the rib cage. The caress of air in the nostrils. Sensing the body moving, feeling the way it draws in and expels air at exactly the right rate for what the body needs. And we're here to be the kindly witness. Observing the subtle physical sensations associated with breathing. And maybe there's one place where you feel the breath most readily. You could try lingering there, noticing some more. And becoming extra familiar with the sensation of the breath in that particular spot. Bringing the mind back kindly when it wanders, and finding the breath is still there, and we have the opportunity to be present in this moment. Noticing the breath, being patient and kind, and setting aside judgments about how well we're doing or how peaceful we feel. The idea is not to create a different state. The idea is to be present with the one we have. Present in a spacious way. Present through the eyes of the observer. Watching each breath as closely as we can. Aware of the rhythm, the flow, the pauses. And just for a few more breaths, nothing else to do but sit and observe with kindness. And when we're ready, opening our eyes. So well done. Little yawn or a stretch if you need one. And if you're listening in live or you're joining us later, I would encourage you to really follow the meditation. If you didn't that time, you can replay. And it means that the words that come afterwards make a little bit more sense. And our connection with mindfulness, with ourselves, with our lives, is only possible if we are there, if we're practicing. So formal meditation is the way to go. And today, following the lines of being here fully and the bigger picture, I would like to read from some of the 8-week course material, a piece of prose from Nadine Stair, 85 years old. If I had my life to live over, I'd like to make more mistakes next time. I'd relax, I would limber up, I would be sillier than I had been on this trip. I would take fewer things seriously. I would take more chances. I would climb more mountains and swim more rivers. I would eat more ice cream and fewer beans. I would perhaps have more actual troubles, but I'd have fewer imaginary ones. You see, I'm one of those people who lives sensibly and sanely hour after hour, day after day. Oh, I've had my moments, and if I had to do it over again, I'd have more of them. In fact, I'd have nothing but moments. In fact, I'd try to have nothing else, just moments, one after another, instead of living so many years ahead of each day. I've been one of those persons who never goes anywhere without a thermometer, a hot water bottle, a raincoat, and a parachute. If I had to do it again, I would travel lighter than I have. If I had my life to live over, I would start barefoot earlier in the spring and stay that way later in the fall. I would go to more dances. I would ride more merry-go-rounds. I would pick more daisies. And so Nadine said that she would have only moments. And while we do have responsibilities and we do have troubles and we do have health challenges and we do have financial stresses, if we allow that to be the only view in our lives, if we allow that to take over, we don't notice the daisies in between, and we don't give ourselves time to go to the dances and hang out with our friends. And so I think through regular mindfulness practice, we manage to keep a perspective on, yes, our responsibilities, but also on the gifts and the treasures that are hidden in between, the brightness that's in the cracks amongst the difficulty. So mindfulness is not about having no anxiety or no problems. It's about coping with them and being able to notice the bright and the beautiful in between. So when we're practicing regularly, we are not quite as strongly attached to our thoughts and our worries. They're still there, but we have some spaciousness. We have the ability to stand back and see that there are other elements to be noticed and enjoyed as well. And so say we decide that we're going to, like Nadine, we're going to live more lightly, that we're going to have only moments and we're not going to sweat the small stuff. Sometimes just a decision isn't enough. I know that when I had life-threatening cancer, I wasn't sweating the small stuff anymore, and I thought I never would. And then as soon as I get an all clear and I'm completely into remission, I start sweating the small stuff until I'm into my mindfulness practice and getting a bigger perspective. And so it's not just through making a decision to pick daisies that we can do it. It's a question of changing habits, and it's a question of regular mindfulness practice. Otherwise, the worrying mind takes over and our life goes by in lists and responsibilities, and we feel that that there are no daisies. The daisies are there, but we're probably just not seeing them. So I encourage you to keep up a regular mindfulness practice, and through doing that and just being in the moment on a regular basis, connecting with the body, allowing things to be as they are, treating yourself with kindness, then it's quite natural for the good and the beautiful to be apparent amongst the struggles and the difficulty. And when we have challenges, if we're living a mindful life, we are active in the part of the brain that feels that we can cope. We're in this left prefrontal cortex where we see solutions and opportunities. So mindfulness doesn't guarantee that we have a smooth ride, but it does put us into a place of coping, and it allows us to see the bright and the beautiful alongside the responsibilities and the challenges. So keeping a view on the bigger picture, I wish you a mindful week with plenty of formal practice, and do join us again soon for another shared meditation online. Thank you for being here.